Today we're finishing up a sleeve that we started in 2020, so it's been a while. We're finally finishing it up. What I do like to have is just really solid products. I think that that's super important. A lot of people always ask me like what solution I use in my bottles to like clean tattoos and stuff during the process. Straight water for me, just distilled water. If I'm gonna prep skin, obviously soap is required. Today I'm gonna definitely try out this Recovery CBD foaming soap. I'm excited to give it a try. It definitely seems like it has some products in it that would be calming to start with. Give it a shot. We tattooed all day yesterday. I want to use something that's gonna keep areas that we worked all day yesterday moist throughout the day, especially if it's areas that I can't like wrap or keep covered throughout the day. It definitely helps keep things from drying out and starting to like try to get crusty and heal over while I'm still working on other areas. Ooh, it's vegan, nice. If you use cartridges, I will say that Hive Cups has designed one of the best cups for people who use cartridges. It has little holders in it so they can soak in the water while you're using 10 different kinds of colors. It just keeps things a lot cleaner. It makes it a lot easier to change colors when you like have a needle that can sit for a second while you're doing something else and then come back to it, clean it out. Keeps them more organized so they're not just like rolling around on your tray. These things are amazing. I love Hive Cups for that reason. And I know they work with a lot of biodegradable plastics, which is really nice. As far as machines go, I've been using Cheyenne for, oh God, I don't even know, like 10 years now. I've had so many different iterations of their machines. I started with the Thunder and then moved on to all the different pen shapes that they've had, tried so many different ones. I really do like the Solnova Unlimited. I use the 5.0 stroke because I like a long stroke on my machines. I would say the battery on these things lasts like solid like 6 to 7 hours depending. And I tattoo generally like 7 to 7.5 hours a day. So that's really important to me. But also I just love not having a cord. For anybody that's still using corded machines, if you haven't tried the Cheyenne Solnovas, the cordless, like, oh my God, it's just next level. I'm pretty minimalist when it comes to stuff, so I just take a clipcord sleeve and like cut it to like a decent length that just covers the machine but gives me enough extra that I can kind of wrap it around the machine, and then I just tape it. If I have to change the battery, it's usually pretty easy to just unwrap and get to it, like one glove on, one glove off kind of situation. I always use the disposable grips if you can throw it away and not have to deal with cross-contamination, why wouldn't you? And then I just like kind of wrap this and I'll wrap that over top of it. But yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. Obviously, if I'm using a Cheyenne machine, I'm using Cheyenne needles. They design them for their machines and they work well. I like to use the 7 mag, 9 mag, and 13 mags for shading. I do keep like a 7 power and a 9 power, which are basically a round shader. I do like them for lining and shading. For liners, I definitely like a 7.25, which is like their tight 7, and I like their tight 3s a lot. And if I want a slightly bolder line, like I said, I'll use the 7 power, but I do occasionally get out like just a regular 7 liter. Little skull guys, courtesy of Painful Pleasures. It's so cool to see all the different ways that art is like infiltrating different aspects of tattooing. Obviously, I love doing color work. That's something you can see me do in every single tattoo. I don't really do black and gray tattoos unless it's like just a first pass to get my contrast where it needs to be on all my pieces. It always ends up with color. Today, we're gonna be doing a little bit of outlining. When I start a large piece, I tend to do a lot of gray lining because I like to go back and kind of like figure out what I want to push back, what I want to bring forward, and if I don't hardline everything right off the bat, then I don't have to make that decision on the first day. And especially with big pieces, it can be a little overwhelming to have to make that decision. I like to give myself a little bit more time to do that. I like the Allegory Black. Eternal's Black is nice too, but I just like the way that this one flows. It's a little more liquid. I do have Eternal Gray Wash set today, which is also pretty nice. I like working in a lot of 80s colors. For the most part, I just use Eternal. Occasionally I'll have a solid ink in there or like Allegory. Eternal has always been a pretty good standard for me. They always seem to have colors that I can rely on. They heal well, they look nice, they go in easy. But they're definitely like my main source of color. White for the highlights. I don't use a lot of white though. Very sparing for me. That is pretty much the setup.